In this unit, we are going to talk about ITIL continual service improvement. The goal of continual service improvement is to align and realign IT services to changing business needs by identifying and implementing improvements to the IT services that support the business processes. Continual service improvement is a type of process which utilizes techniques from quality management so as to learn from prior success and failures, and aims constantly to increase efficiency and effectiveness of IT services and processes. Continual service improvement should focus on maximizing the effectiveness and also increasing the efficiency of the IT service management processes. Some of the objectives of this ITIL continual service improvement includes to evaluate, analyze, and make necessary recommendations to improve the existing opportunities in each phase of the ITIL service lifecycle, including service strategy, design, transition, and operation. It also aims at increasing the cost effectiveness and process efficiency of the IT service. It also looks for ascertain and implement activities to increase the quality of the IT service and improve the effectiveness and efficiency of the IT service management process. It also looks for increasing the cost effectiveness of IT service delivery while maintaining the same level of customer satisfaction, and also looks for ensuring that a standard and relevant method is used for quality management. In continual service improvement, it's also important to make a kind of diagnosis about what's the current situation of the organization. So we answer some questions in order to complement our view and our understanding of the organization. The first question we ask ourselves is, how do we keep the momentum going? So how we are going to move forward and continue with the impulse that we are bringing from our current activities. And then we need to understand what's the vision of the organization, what's the business vision, what are the goals and objectives. Where are we now? What's the current situation? What's the baseline situation where we are starting our assessment? Where do we want to be? And we define then measurable targets for our practice. How do we get there? And also thinking about how or which kind of services and process we need to improve. And we also need to ask ourselves if we achieve the goals, if we achieve the activities and the goals that we proposed. How did we get there? And then we analyze or define measurement and metrics to evaluate this level. An important concept within the continual service improvement process is the Deming cycle. And the Deming cycle, or in other words, the PDCA cycle, is used as the foundation for quality improvement activities across different types of enterprises. It is used in different industries for controlling and measuring results and taking an appropriate steps based on the results to come up with a better output in the later steps. The Deming cycle is a 4-part life cycle, and that it's constituted by the following activities: plan, do, check, and act. So plan is the first step of the process and involves planning the improvements. It includes a gap analysis that it's undertaken, and a plan is made to overcome the gap through a series of improvement steps. Do is the second phase, and it refers to the implementation of improvements. So a project is instigated to close the gaps identified in the previous phase. This phase includes a series of changes to improve the process. Check. This phase is more defined, or can be defined accurately as monitoring, measuring, and reviewing. And the end result of the implemented improvements is associated with the measures for success identified and approved in the planning phase. and then act. The identified improvements are entirely implemented in this step. So this cycle, the Deming cycle, can be utilized to improve any of the ITIL service management processes. Continual Service Improvement, or CSI, uses a 7-step improvement process, which is critical for itself and other stages of the ITIL life cycle. They are as follows. So the first step is to identify the approach for improvement. So before implementing an improvement strategy, it is necessary to understand the necessity for continuous improvement. We must take into account the final goals that we have set for the business and see how the IT organization can assist in achieving those targets through continuous improvements. The second step is, or the first one in the structure, is to define what should be measured. So a comparison should be made between what we can ideally measure and what we can actually measure. So gaps should be identified, and a realistic measurement plan should be incorporated to support the strategy for improvement. Then we need to collect the essential data. And in this case, this data is gathered through persistent monitoring. The process of monitoring can be done either through manually or technology, and can be utilized to the fullest to automate the entire process and simplify it. Then we continue with the process of the data. So once the data is collected through continuous monitoring, it is then converted into the form required by the audience. This can be considered as a conversion of metrics into key performance indicators. So we can check the results and understand more what's the available data information. And then we continue with the analysis of the information and the data. So the multiple sources of data are combined to transform the information into knowledge, which is further analyzed to find the gaps and their impacts on the overall business. The information is further evaluated considering all the relevant internal and external factors. It also helps to answer questions regarding something that is good or bad, and is it expected in line with the targets. Then we continue with the proper presentation and utilization of the information. So the information which is gathered and analyzed needs to be presented in a proper manner with the right amount of detail, so that the information is comprehensible and provides the required amount of detail to support informed decision making. And then we move to the implementation of the improvements. So a change implemented with continuous improvement sets a new baseline for the entire process. The knowledge obtained should be combined with the previous experience and is used to make informed decisions and necessary improvements. The improvements which are made must focus on optimizing and correcting the services, processes, and the tools. So the scope of the CSI 7-step improvement process contains the following areas. So the 7-step improvement process includes analysis of the performance and actual capabilities of the services and processes throughout the life cycle, partners, and technology. It includes continuously aligning the portfolio of IT services of the organization to the present and future business requirements. It makes the best use of whatever the technology that the organization possesses and tries to acquire and utilize new technology when a business case demands it. It also determines the capabilities of the personnel in the enterprise, and to inquire if the right people with the relevant skills are working in appropriate positions. The homework for this unit consists on identifying an organization. It could be in a school, football team, company, university, country, whatever organization you like. And then, based on the CSI 7 steps, develop the following. First, identify the mission, vision, strategy, goals, and one area to improve in the organization. One area to improve in the school or the football team or the company or the university or your family, the organization that you have identified. And one area to improve. It could be related to information. It could be related to resources. It could be related to the need for example, for a goalkeeper or a forward in your football team. I don't know. Explain how an IT solution could help to improve that area. How an IT solution, computer-based, software-based solution could help to improve that area. Define what should be measured and identify the data that according to your analysis should be collected, and explain why this data and how this data will be useful to offer improvements to the identified area. You don't need to offer a solution. Just make an initial identification of the area to improve the mission, vision, strategy, goals, and what should be measured and the data to collect. It's mandatory to present this in groups of maximum 3 people. And besides the slides, write the document with the summary of your work, no more than 1 page. Include the link to your presentation in this document. Please upload your presentation and document in a separate way. Only PDF and PPT format. No zip, RAR, or doc files will be accepted.